There you go. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna get Matthew in here. I haven't talked to Matthew in a while. I'm muting everybody, by the way. Matthew, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm just having a good time, man. And I wanted to congratulate you on your show. It's awesome. You're getting a lot of people talking. And dude, it's just cool. And I actually agree with everything that you're saying. And
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
a little bit of nuance to some of the things at the top half of your list.
Yeah, no problem. I want you to go off. By the way, for those of you guys that aren't aware of Matthew Hakeem, I suggest you go look him up on YouTube. One of the very first debates that I did on Modern Day Debate was with Matthew. Me and Matthew were teammates going against McFurry and who was it other? It was Globy McGlobeface.
Yeah, Glober.
Yeah, Globy McGlobeface. And, almost prophetically now at this point, now that we know he's a furry, excuse me, Matthew was offhandedly accusing McToon of doing inappropriate stuff with children.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true.
Offhanded. Like it wasn't direct.
No, I wasn't. No.
Okay. All right. Let me be specific. All right. Matthew was asking him about a situation and a video that he had put out or was showing that had a child in it, and Matthew was
just
go ahead.
Well, I didn't know why they sent me that video. There was some other beef going on with some other people, and I know McToon didn't make that video, but it was just weird. And to me, yeah, I can have any opinion I want. And the truth is, I never accused him of anything. If you go back and watch that exchange, I just say the video looks weird and I give my opinion.
Right.
And you see how he exploded.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, like his people they keep trying to say this and that, and I say, prove it. If you say I accused him of something,
right,
prove that I accused him of something. And they can't, because if I had accused him, I would have been in court already with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
100%.
And honestly, and I believe not, because like I said, I don't think that he would be able to win that if you force him to go to court. You know what I mean? You open up that laptop and they're going to slam the gavel on him. I guarantee you that. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? We don't have to go into that.
But anyways, I remember you debated them 2 versus 1 and you did win. You were victorious. And I saw the information they were presenting, and I was just in my head saying, yeah, this is what's wrong with it. This is what's wrong with it. And you were nailing them.
Yeah, and I was very much a novice at the time too, and so of course, looking back on it, there's a lot of stuff that I wish I would have said or didn't say. But be that as it may, it was a 2-on-1 debate. McFurry, Globy McGlobeface versus me, and it was literally supposed to just be me versus Globy McGlobeface. But you know that I destroyed him because halfway through it turned into a debate with me and McToon, with me and McFurry. Right? He's supposed to be moderating, and then he has to step in because I'm just obliterating. And then it didn't go no better.
Yeah, they're not fair. Like if I went on their channel, I would just get muted. They would be trash talking, and then I will get dropped. But anyways, that's all a downer. But a funny thing about that.
Go ahead. Elaborate on what you want to say.
Okay, the funny thing about that initial weird video with the kid, they were trying to demonstrate how a rainbow could be produced in a garage, something like that.
Right.
And then on a live stream, I nailed them because they brought it up like a couple months ago, that exchange. And they showed the original video. And I noticed that the sun has to be a local light in order for there to be a rainbow produced.
I didn't catch that until you just said it now. Yep, that makes sense now that you say it. Yep.
And then I was in their chat saying, hey guys, did you realize this this video is a flat Earth proof, and then they got into defense mode, and it was very funny.
Dang, no, that's crazy though, right? Even when they try to replicate the idea of the rainbow without a dome, they still do it with a local light. So you can't reproduce that with a light, in proportional distance away that they say the sun is 93 million miles, proportion to a small. We're talking about probably like a few miles, at least a few miles, probably.
So that's just another thing they have to go into damage control mode about, and it's just very funny. Like you've probably seen the stuff of Artemis being fake, and how the Globers. It's almost like the Globers are coping that people don't care about these fake space missions.
Right.
And they say that, I've seen the videos, they say flat earthers are losing it. And personally, like, I just think of it like, same thing, different day. They did the same CGI, the same glitches, similar to like that Final Experiment fraud, which is funny. Like, I don't know what your opinion is of the Final Experiment, but I came up with a term for it. I call it Duffy's failure. Like Aries failure. But the Final Experiment is Duffy's failure. Because they try to convince people, right? They try to convince people that there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and they proved they had to fake it. They proved they had to fake it. I don't know if you've seen those videos. I don't know if you've seen, Austin Whitsitt taking his breath with a vape pen. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but they lost all credibility. It lost all credibility.
I did see the video, and I saw Whitsitt's response. What I will say is I did not look into it much deeper than hearing what everybody's response was, because like you said in the beginning, I don't care. I don't give a damn about them, what they're doing in Antarctica. We all know that doesn't prove anything. Looking at making observations of the sky does not prove the ground. I said it multiple times.
Ross.
Wait and keep it off with the.
Ross, that's the problem. There was no observation.
Right.
That's the point. And if you haven't looked into it, look into it. I'd say check out Flat Earth Banjo. He nailed it. He was like a detective. He put it all together, and it's all falling apart. Jaron he's lost a lot of his followers.
Oh yeah, Jaron is. Come on,
right? Austin lost his.
Jaron was a shield from the beginning for sure. Jaron was definitely a shield from the beginning.
Yeah, so the whole thing it was just a huge fraud.
Yeah, and like, to be real, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not that I always knew Jaron was a fraud, but I knew that there was something weird about Jaron just by virtue of how much he like promotes, grass and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, think about it. That's like a police officer shit. You know what I mean? Like, police officer come by with the 5 leaf socks. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he always had like 420 hats.
Oh, talking about marijuana.
Yeah, I don't. Of course, I know we can say it on here, but I just, like 420 hats and shit. Like, it's like his entire wardrobe was just like 420 wardrobe. And I, as a person that's from California my entire life, that's like poser shit. You know what I mean? That's like police shit.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
that's what police do.
Poser shit. I got you.
You know what I mean? So right away when I saw it,
I didn't like when he was saying terrible things about Jesus. I mean, it's one thing if people don't have faith in Jesus. It's another thing to, go out of his way to say bad things and insult, I called him out on that like almost 4 years ago, back when he was pretending to be a flat earther.
Right.
That just got exposed, and it's just that's another issue.
No, I mean, I agree with you on that. Like, that's another way you can tell. When people come up here and they're like, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, I'm like, hey man, look, absolutely, I agree with you. Even if I'm not religious, and even if that's not my beliefs, you're sharing a positive message, right? Jesus is the way. We're talking about love and peace. I want to promote that. You know what I mean? Let it go. If there's no if there's no real negativity about it, there should be no reason for you to try to you know, demonify other people's beliefs that are, you know, keeping them in a more positive place, you know. And I grew up religious and stuff, and so
Real, right? Also, if we don't even think what they're talking about is real.
if it's not real, then why does it matter?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. What I notice is like a lot of flat earthers like me, like I'll make videos of what I like. You know, I'll make videos about flat earth. I started making a couple of videos about the movie The Shining. You know, my theories about that, right? The Globers, they're only about what they hate. They hate flat earth, right? And like me, I don't waste time trash talking the globe. You know, I don't waste any time saying this is what I hate. This is why I hate it. These are the people that believe what I hate, and that's why I hate them. Total waste of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole difference. You know, a lot of these people are wasting their life just creating that negative energy. And you know, the positive energy, it's like this, like getting out of the prison of the mind that like Satan put us in, which is all the stuff on your list. Those are like prisons for the mind.
Yes.
That Satan put it, like Satan put the globe on our mind. Satan told us the earth was moving. Satan tried to tell the black people in America that they were from Africa, which is a total lie, because in different continents of the earth, you could see like in Central America, people are dark.
Right.
You know, my dad, he's half Mexican, but he was darker than your skin color, my dad. Right. Or you look at like the Aboriginal people, which I call the original people of Australia. They were black people with blue eyes. You know, and then you look at like India, South India, they're black people, right? Or the Philippines. You know what I mean? They're black people, and it's not limited to one area, because that's a total lie, right?
100%. Real quick, shout out Grigori Habi. Grigori said we need to get you on the Joe Rogan Experience. I mean, listen, you know, I wouldn't turn it down, but I doubt Joe is gonna, you know, let's be honest. You know, we know who Joe works for. We know exactly who Joe works for.
The fire, man. It wouldn't handle it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, they wouldn't handle it.
Yeah, absolutely not. And Joe doesn't like people interrupting him. Me and Joe's personality is too similar.
Well, you never know. I mean, he might want you to elaborate so you get your ideas out. Like if you were a guest on the show, he might want you to talk about what, you know, you're into, because it is interesting. The stuff you're talking about is interesting, you know?
If it is invalid, we promise a tenfold refund. This denture can be
people talking already, like in the chat, and you got a good number of viewers on YouTube. Let me check. It looks like 300 or something.
Yeah, you know, we got, you know, it's a light day. You know what I mean? It's Sunday. You know what I mean? Taking it light today. It's a light day. Some light.
Oh, and I watched your episode with PhD Tony. Oh, man, that guy should just give it up.
100%.
You know, I don't want to insult him, but he's got to just like, I would say just it's best for him to just kind of stop.
100%. Because like I had to point this out the next day, because you know I was caught up in the moment. I didn't, you know, have the presence of mind to say it at the time. But if you watch that debate, we spent the entire debate, that one and the one we did on Modern Day Debate. PhD Tony will come up here and spend an entire hour getting mad at me because he wants to poke a hole in the Mickelson and Morley experiment. But you know what he will never do? He'll never come up and bring his own experiment that proves the earth is moving. Think about it. At the end of our conversation, what changes? Nothing.
Right? Nothing. There is no experiment to show the earth is moving, because for one, the earth is not moving, right?
Yeah.
And for two, the globers give an excuse as to why we never feel the earth moving, while simultaneously saying there are devices that can feel the earth moving while a helicopter hovers in place. These things are incredible. Like how you mentioned Mickelson Morley. Did you ever read the original Cavendish papers?
I haven't got that far yet. Yeah, I haven't got that far yet.
Ross, they were looking for the density of the earth.
That's wild.
Later people said, you know what? They were wrong. They were actually working with gravity. But according to the mainstream historical narrative, gravity had been discovered 30 years previous by Isaac Newton.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah, it's all ridiculous.
So-
Like they're liars and tricksters. It's like the same thing that.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
So not even Mickelson Morley, but they also bring up Cavendish. And so people were throwing that in my face. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to read it. And I was watching videos of people showing demonstrations, and there's so much wrong with it. They're using the steel cables, right, in a wooden box. And the original experiment took place over winter time. And we know what happens to steel cables when it gets either really cold or really warm. If there's temperature fluctuation, they expand and contract. And so what do the people do? They say, oh, that's because of the gravity. Gravity did this and that, when really it's just temperature. It's
Right.
steel cables retract and expand. But what they're really doing is, you read the original paper, they were looking for the density of the earth. So that's another thing, not just Mickelson Morley,
That's
but
interesting.
it's like everything proves the earth is flat and not moving. And I know you don't like the word flat. I say it.
Well,
I don't feel weird.
it's not that I don't like it, right? Because the word flat is fine. It's a description of the surface. It's only when people
Yeah,
are asking me about the shape of the entire earth. You know what I mean? And I
Oh.
use it as a rhetorical device for them to realize how stupid they are. I want them to consider it in their own mind. Why do I keep asking if the shape of the earth is flat? Maybe I should be more accurate and stop sounding stupid, you know? And, you know, so that's really why I do it. You know, yeah, I'm like, I would never say that I'm necessarily not a flat earther. I've never said the entire earth is flat. But at the end of the day, if you're going to ask me a question trying to make me look stupid, don't get mad when I return the favor.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of see it as things do kind of flatten out. You know, like even underwater, currents will make everything kind of flattens out. You know, so like I don't know. I don't want to get onto that tangent.
No, it's all good.
But the thing about
Real quick, shout out Salty Scrub. Salty Scrub said 200 wins. Stop it. Salty, where do you see 200 wins up here? This is 18,044 debate victories to 0. All right? Don't you ever put no smut on my name. My bad. Go ahead, Matthew.
but the final thing about PhD Tony, I watched my first debate was with my partner was Nathan Erickson, and we were going against T Jump and PhD Tony.
Oh, the worst.
And
The two worst.
I swear, if you watch that debate, PhD Tony asks how sailors would know which star they were following. Now, Ross, do you know how a sailor would be able to determine which star he was following?
I mean, the first thing that comes up to my head is just consistent knowledge. Like the stars are in the same place, and so they have, like, especially like I think somebody came up here the other day and said, like, still to this day, people in New Zealand use the stars to travel from island to island. Like literally,
Yes, that's what I told PhD Tony. But
they
the
know where
answer
it was
is
at because it's in the same
constellation.
spot.
The answer is constellations. That's the trick. That's what PhD Tony didn't know. And it's like in real time.
You're good at business? We're good at business banking.
Be one.
They got exposed. Like they were trying to defend the globe model. And I'm trying to think what the correct way to describe it. Like inductively preserve the model. Is that correct?
Yeah. I make that distinction up here every day for the most part. Some people come up here
like
and inductive reasoning versus deductive. You're just trying to find. Go ahead.
I can deduce that the Earth is flat and not moving. I can make observations. I can do tests to see if every test proves the Earth is not moving. You know what I mean? So that's what they were doing. They had to, like, they were looking dumb. What's up? Who's that?
I can't hear the people in the background, by the way. So you have to mute them on your side, or else, they just keep going.
Okay, what was that? Pigeon? Let me mute Pigeon.
Yeah. You got to mute them. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know how Discord works all the way, so I'm still figuring it out.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm talking with you. I don't want to get my concentration to all these people, but but anyways, really,
we're talking about the Cavendish.
They're looking for density of the Earth.
Right.
So that's another funny one. But on your list, if we can keep going up your list, dragons, dinosaurs, Yes, there's no problem with that. The only people that would have problem with that are people that are like in love with the mainstream narrative.
Yeah, or right,
I got no problem with that.
yeah, or like I was saying earlier, I'm like, some of these people come in, they're like, we know for a fact that dragons never existed. I'm like, bro, you probably go visit some rich person zoo where you guys see dragons, you know what I mean? And so you're just up here trying to run propaganda on us. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way you can know that. Like, how could you know something like that? You've been alive, what, 20 years?
Yeah.
And now you're telling me for sure what you know? See, that sounds like you know that they do exist and you're just trying to trick us. And lastly,
that's when it becomes an opinion, right? That's when it goes from facts to opinion.
Yeah,
like, talk about our opinion.
And lasting on the PhD Tony thing, because you tripped me out just now when you said that the Cavendish experiment was trying to prove the density of the Earth. Now I'm gonna have to go look that up, because usually I just question people and wait for them to make a mistake and prove that they don't know anything. So I haven't gotten that far with the Cavendish experiment. But when PhD Tony was up here, you guys saw him tell me I was wrong about them testing the Earth movement, the Earth's movement. You saw him tell me to bring up the document. I brought up the original document. The document literally said, we read it together. It said, the motion of the Earth through the ether. And at the end of it, he's saying, no, they were testing the ether. And I'm like, bro, so you're just lying. Why are you twisting their words around? If they were testing the ether, it would say testing the ether using the motion. But they didn't say that. They said testing, they said the motion through the ether. And so, like you said, like they will just sit there and just flip it around and make it something that it's completely not. Anyway, that shit tripped me out. I'm gonna have to go look at that.
No, that's exactly right, Ross. That is exactly what they do. A perfect example of this. Watch. Another partner I had, his name's Corey Dawson. He's a cool guy. We went against Peter Markley and Dr. Blitz, right? Mm-hmm. And so Corey brings up this NASA document. It talks about how they have to consider the Earth a flat, non-rotating Earth to pilot the craft correctly, like with different specifications about piloting a craft over a flat Earth. This was a government manual,
right?
And then they were so dumb. Peter Markley and Dr. Blitz were so dumb. They said, "Where does it say flat Earth? Where does it say flat Earth?" And we just both said, "It's in the title. It's right there in the title." You get it?
Yeah.
It makes them look so dishonest. Just totally dishonest.
That's literally what I told him. I'm like, dude, you're losing credibility when you do this, PhD Tony. I'm like, it's like I'm like, you literally telling me it does not say they're testing the motion. The very first words of the entire paper is motion of the Earth. It's just what are you doing?
Exactly. And another far off one. Okay.
Go ahead.
Craig, fight the flat Earth. Okay. It's like we both went against the same people, right? Mm-hmm. So we were debating about the final experiment on Modern Day Debate. We did a before and after, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like a home run. It got so bad that Craig started like insulting my dead mother and shit like that.
That's crazy.
But it got so weird. I told him, okay, look at this video. There's no shadow coming from the mountain when the sun is directly behind it. And I explained how light works, that if the sun was behind a mountain, it would cast a huge shadow. But in this video, there is no shadow. And we spent like 10 or 15 minutes arguing about whether there was a shadow in the video, and there was none. That's how dishonest those people are. And that's how crazy they are. Like seriously, like not just they're globers, but there could be something seriously wrong mentally with them that makes them totally avoid facts, makes them totally delusional.
It's the inductive reasoning, like you said. It's the inductive reasoning. Yeah.
Yeah, they're inductively attempting to preserve a failed mob.
Right. Shout out Dirty Boy. Dirty Boy, thank you so much for the 10 jewels. I appreciate that. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, anyways, that's just about that. That's the one thing I kind of came to, because it's like all of this is kind of new to me, like the debating world, formal logic. I don't know all the laws of like formal logic and this and that.
Right.
But it's just I instinctively am picking it up.
Absolutely.
And I just noticed that they're crazy, they are liars, and a reasonable person, more reasonable than you and I, because you and I can get intense.
Right.
A reasonable, normal person could try to explain it to them, and they would have the same response. Mock them, say you need to go back to second grade, or fill in the blank. Like
Right.
instead of using critical thought to address an issue, they'll use cognitive dissonance instead and just mock it.
Right.
So it's an easy strategy.
Yeah,
but I want to kind of just move a little bit on your list.
Yeah, no, real quick. Yeah, I want you to tackle these last three, but before we get there, in the back, Twigma, we're gonna bring you up after this, and if Matthew is still up here, if he still has time, I'm gonna allow him to help me respond to the rest of the people who are in here, the people that have already spoken once: Dylan, Beep Beep, Pigeon, Torque.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys get in here and ask another question to either me or Matt after we go to Twigma. But before we do that, go ahead, Matt. I want to let you say whatever you want to say about these last three topics.
So for dinosaurs and dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dinosaurs and dragon. So let's say there was like this dragon, right? Large wings,
Right.
and it gets killed, right? And it starts to decompose.
Unalive.
Right?
Say unalive.
Oh, sorry. The dragon somehow ceases to
Right.
Now those wings are like feathers and cartilage. That stuff's going to decompose really quick if it really did have large wings, and it would leave behind something that might look like a T-Rex, something that would have like little arms. So I think that yes, dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, a dragon would be called a dinosaur. If they found one, they would classify it under dinosaur somehow. But the thing about dinosaurs, yeah, there's probably all kinds of creatures, different sizes, different looks, not to mention giants, so what they have is fossils. The people, they could just find them and make whatever kind of decision they want, put them together however they want. So there is something to that. Dinosaurs equal dragons. So moving on to the Atlantis equals America. That's a really interesting, powerful one. I would say it like this. America was a powerful kingdom before the time of the flood of Noah. When the flood of Noah came, it ended, the people, the civilization, that vast kingdom that spread over the face of the earth. Now, we can call it America, but it's almost like there's more nuance that has to be added to that one, because it is true.
Definitely.
But it's almost like people use the same word to describe it. Like people use Atlantis to describe that antediluvian civilization, right? Which would be that, the pre-flood world. Now, that's the paradox, is that in the United States, we have these structures that are not built in Wild West days. These massive cathedrals, this infrastructure, all these train tracks, all this land. Like if you ever see how like roads are cut into mountains.
Yeah, 100%.
That was not, that was not done with like cowboy and Indian type people.
Right.
What this is there was a worldwide civilization that ended with the flood. And so it's hard for people to digest that, because it's almost completely opposed to what the mainstream historical narrative is. So people want to easily digest that story by just thinking of an island called Atlantis, where there was a volcano and the people died,
Yeah.
But the real truth is there was cataclysms. There was multiple cataclysms, not just water, not just fire, but also, my own personal opinion, there was some type of war, like a worldwide, like sci-fi war that took place, where they were melting buildings.
Yeah.
There was like,
I believe.
Know how you feel about that, but
well, I mean, when people say that Atlantis was gotten rid of by the flood, I think that it's a combination of the two things, and the previous could even be a result of the latter.
call it a mix.
Yeah,
Like, over
I'm
time,
saying the flood very well could have been a result of some technologically advanced war that was happening.
the flood. Well, for me, I just look at what the Bible says. How there's water above us.
Well,
where
right,
the,
right. Well, I'm
windows
not.
of heaven open.
Yeah,
But also, Ross, also how fountains of the deep were opened up, or some versions say broken up.
right. But
So
how
that
is the
means
question?
water coming.
How were they opened
How?
up is the question, though. And that's what I'm saying. I'm
Now
like,
watch. It doesn't have to necessarily have a mystical explanation, even though God would be the source. There's natural geological functions that are happening. Geysers, other things, and we don't 100% know
right.
what
I understand
Earth
what
was
you mean.
like. Like 6,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, no,
We don't know.
This is a fact. This is true. This is true. Like, it is a logical explanation. But as somebody that's not religious myself, I still, stand in the land of the skeptic when it comes to.
You don't have to be religious. You just look at it. Look at how these structures are buried.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not. But we're talking about the cause, though. We're not talking about the fact that it did happen.
Okay, yeah. That's where we could have our own opinion.
Right.
So I respect that. I like how you're about the facts and what we can prove.
Wear them, so I asked Chat.
And I respect that, And then there's the other realm of, okay, this is my opinion. This is what I think happened, and this is why I could respect that.
Yeah, well, just on like when we start talking about what physically caused it, because we just never know. Like, if we're believing that there was a technologically advanced world at the time, then I mean, there's weather manipulation machines right now, and so we have no idea how far it goes.
Yeah, like they had some way to just manipulate that free energy, that ether energy, and they weaponize it like they do now with those directed energy weapons.
Yeah,
I don't know if we can get into that too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, vaguely, I had somebody come on here the other day and ask me if I thought that NASA was trying to break through the firmament, and I thought that was an interesting question.
Already tried, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe they're trying to. Anyway.
Okay. To kind of wrap it up, because I don't want to take all your time. I know you got other guests.
I keep interrupting you, bro. Don't worry about these guys.
No.
Yeah, don't worry about these guys, man. They're just trolling me, and most of them, I let them talk already. So you ain't got to worry about them. Go ahead.
Okay, trolling you. I'm actually like, I'm about the stuff I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Even though I like the saxophone, don't give me the saxophone, okay? Even though I like it.
No, that's what I said. That's why, like, you can talk as long as you want, bro. Because we've debated together before. We've had, as a matter of fact, we even did an interview after that where we kind of just talked.
I remember that. That was cool.
Yeah. So
I've done on I remember that.
Yeah, I've done an interview with you before on here. So yeah, bro, you're more than welcome, bro. Talk at length. Go ahead.
Okay, and so the thing about America being Atlantis, the little nuance I would add, maybe you could disagree, is like this, that I think America actually could also be the land of the Bible and the real Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm right there with you.
Opinion about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I'm right there with you on that. I believe. Yeah. I believe it's both. I'll just leave it at that. I believe it's both. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's the only nuance I would add to that is it's just possible. It's possible that the locations have been changed. I mean, we know the wording has changed in the Bible. A lot of Christian people feel upset when I talk about how the Bible has been manipulated into different versions for different goals. But that's just part of it. It's almost like Satan has lied to us about everything. It's to separate us from God, to separate us from our true history, to separate us from real knowledge, like science that could actually benefit the people and get the burden off of humanity. But we're seeing that Satan is using what he can to keep us as slaves in a mental prison, like physically being poisoned. I don't want to get into that too much. But that's just my own personal opinion that America is actually most likely the original land of the Bible and ancient Egypt. but that's just a different,
No,
and which leads to
I'm
the
right there
top
with
one.
you. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Keep going.
Which leads to the top one: history equals 100% lies. I would say it's like this. Our history, I think, was written sometime around the year of the American Civil War. I think that's when that sci-fi real war ended, not the Civil War. It was a worldwide war that I think there was some sort of treaty with Russia and the United States where the United States got Alaska, and they did something to that Tartarian Empire. They did them dirty, how I would put it, because I've speculated about this, how they had treaties and land was exchanged, and the United States and Russia have been great friends the whole time. So history, I think, was written, like George Washington, Napoleon, William Shakespeare, Genghis Khan. That was all given to us basically in that time frame, where I think a lot of people came out of the subterranean prison. I do believe that people were trapped underground, and they literally came up from the ground out of these subterranean realms. And we are given names, given a backstory, given, here, get this, eat these hot dogs. You become a painter. You dig out the train tracks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You dig the train tracks, you spray the white paint on these buildings. And that's what I mean. Like, it was given to us. Like in the United States, we were given good role models. The founding fathers, like even though they had slaves, they made it so that we could get rid of that. We could make it so that we no longer had it, which is a great story. It's a great fairy tale.
Yeah, it's very right. It's emotionally grabbing for sure.
Yeah, and then in other countries, they had other role models, like Genghis Khan was their role model over there, so they got that result. But I do agree with you that something happened in history, and I was learning about something called the Carrington event, where allegedly the sun gave off some sort of huge discharge, and the electronics, like wires melted and stuff was malfunctioning, like it burned. I think that is something real that was misrepresented in order to, hide what really happened.
Yeah,
but that's all opinion.
Yeah, right. Like, because if the beliefs about technology are to be true, then any a form of an advanced EMP could suffice. You know what I mean? We're talking about ultra advanced EMPs that could serve a number of different purposes.
Weapons that could melt stone. Literally melt stone. No?
Yeah.
So it's like they were able to do things we cannot do now. We cannot build the way they built.
By the way, yeah, real quick, shout out Monster Hunter. If any of you guys want to call in, you can do it on the Discord. We're live right now on the audio channel. If you like the content, then please subscribe and like the video if you don't mind. Thank you guys so much. All right, keep going.
Love that way. I don't have to be up here the whole time. But if you want me to talk to some of your guests, that'd be cool. I'm okay with that.
All right, let's yeah. We know how you feel about the Earth moving in the globe, and you did touch on the Africa thing as well. All right, so let's go to Twigma. Twigma, are you up here to troll us? Or I think you just said you wanted to chill, right, Twigma? All right, we'll come back to Twigma. I think Twigma didn't want to say anything. All right, let's go to Pigeon. Pigeon, what's on your mind? What's on your mind, Pigeon?
I want somebody to explain to me, if the Earth is flat, how does every country use every navigator and they're all in on it? What is the conspiracy here?
You want to go on that?
How do they have every navigator in on this fake round Earth when they need to calculate the roundness of the Earth in order to fly to other parts of the planet?
You just made that up, bro. That's not real. Go ahead, Matt.
No, how's it not real?
You know
how do you
your name's Pigeon, right? Pigeon. It
Yeah.
sounds like that's a question you need to ask yourself. why
No,
would
I
they?
have asked myself.
No,
That's
no,
why,
no,
like,
no, 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 stop.
If I question
It's not
something,
Hold
up
on,
to
Pigeon,
me,
Pigeon.
not up to
Pigeon,
me.
you asked a
You-
question.
your opinion.
Be quiet while we answer. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Ross. But yeah, if you ask why someone lies, I don't care why someone lies. They're lying. Okay. I don't care why they're lying. And you can ask me what I think. That would just be my opinion, which wouldn't really matter too much because I don't believe the earth is a globe. I don't believe the earth is moving. And you want me to defer to some other people that you don't even know? You're talking about
Well, I
people
know
you don't know their names. Right? Why didn't you just say how do you fly around? How do you navigate in XYZ?
okay, how do you fly around? You rely on other
Okay,
people.
you
to
answer that. Do
navigate,
you want me to
correct?
answer that question? You fly around
Yes.
as if the earth is a flat, non-rotating plane. That's how you fly around. If you fly around as if the earth is a ball, you're going to crash into the ground.
Literally.
So you navigate planes and ships.
Airplane. No, this
No.
is this is in the airplane manual that all pilots have to read
Yeah.
when they're getting their license.
Yes.
They have to fly the plane as if it's flat and non-rotating. You're welcome. You've been enriched.
I mean, okay, Pigeon, you think they have to speed up to catch up the runway? If they think the earth is turning a certain speed, do you think they have to hurry up and fly faster?
No,
Or
because
do you
we're
think
turning with it.
Right, or okay, so you think we're traveling with it? How? How are we traveling with the earth?
Because we're on it. You're saying movement. Movement is relative. So
So
you
a
say the
helicopter
earth
can
is.
hover in place, right? You're saying we're a helicopter hovering in place,
Y'all like to interrupt
Attached
for
to the
people
earth.
that don't like interrupting.
right?
You say that the earth is not moving. Movement
Yes,
is
because that's
a
what we observe.
relative movement. Yes, because movement is a relative thing. To say
Who
something
told you?
isn't
Wait,
moving,
stop. You said movement
okay,
is
stop,
a relative
stop,
thing.
until I get my
Who told
point
you that?
across.
Who told you
You
that?
talked for like a half
That
hour,
movement
man.
is a relative thing. Who told you that?
Nobody told me that. I think for
So
myself.
you made that up?
You just
You just
on
made
your
that
own.
up.
Movement is a
On
relative
your
thing.
own.
If
You
something
came up
is
with this
moving-
idea that the earth is
All
moving,
right.
we just can't feel it, and you came up with that on your own.
Explain what you think movement is. What do you think movement is if it's not relative?
Movement is something you could observe, you could feel.
When it's relative to you, the observer. So if a ball
like
is
when I'm
moving
in a
toward
car,
you, it's,
if I'm in a
it's moving
car-
toward you relative to you.
I mean, like if I'm in a car or something and I'm moving.
Relative to the ground and to the other things that aren't moving. Relative
Okay, so if
to
I'm
you.
moving, is the ground moving if I'm moving?
No, the ground
If
is.
I jump in the air, Pigeon, if I jump in the air, does the ground move beneath me if I jump in the air?
No, because that does not. Yes,
Okay.
it moves down relative to you.
Okay,
Yes,
now
when
if
you're
I
jumping in
throw-
the air,
if
the
I
earth
throw a
moves down. Correct?
Air moves down.
No, the earth moves down when you jump up because it's relative to you. You are
What?
the
The
observer.
earth goes down
So
when
if
I
you're
jump up.
driving,
What? What?
if you
Mate.
are driving, yes, the earth is
Mate.
moving
What?
relative to you. When you look at the ground,
Dude, you
it's
just
moving
said the
past
earth
you.
goes down when I jump up. So you think the earth moves, literally the earth moves down when I jump up.
I'm saying movement. What is your definition of movement? I'm saying when you
Movement
jump
is
up and
something
you
could
look
observe.
down.
Listen, shut up, shut up.
Let me finish.
Movement
the
is something
sentence,
you can
man.
observe.
What the hell? Oh my God. What the
Movement is
hell?
something you could observe, you could feel, you would notice. You could
Because you're
measure
the
movement,
observer.
You could measure movement. If I move my laptop 2 feet over, I can observe that movement. I could feel that
Yes, because
movement.
you're the
I could
observer.
record that movement, and I could measure the distance that my laptop moves.
So when
So
you
you're
jump,
telling me the earth does not move, but for some reason, the earth moves just because you say the earth moves, even though
No.
there is no experiment, no
You're
observation.
not
Never
listening to me,
proves the
man.
earth moves.
I'm saying
You're
it's
not listening,
relative.
dude. You're okay.
No,
there
I'm
you go. That's
listening
a,
to you. You're saying the
that's-
earth's not
Okay,
moving.
real
When
quick.
you
All right,
jump
hold on one
up,
second,
the
guys.
earth
All
go away from
right, hold on. Let me jump in here. All right, guys, listen.
tag it.
This
Go
is where
for it. Tag out.
look, this is where we're at right now, okay? Brother, you said that movement is relative. Now, from certain, I talked about this the other day. From certain perspectives, yes, movement can be relative. But if we're talking about absolute reference frames, there is an absolute reference frame. This is not theoretical now. Yeah, theoretically, if I'm driving by a tree, theoretically, movement is relative. But in real life, I'm driving and the tree is stationary. All right? Come on. We have to get to a place where we understand reality. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Bro, I can't hear you. All right? We have to get to a place where we can agree on reality, or there's nowhere for us to go. If you don't agree that if I'm driving by the tree, technically I am moving, even though movement seems relative, then you're not understanding reality. All right? Go ahead.
Understanding movement. Let me finish my thought. If you're driving and you look out the window, do you see a tree move past you? That's what movement
is. It's not the tree moving, though.
It's observation relative to the observer. You're not letting. I said let me finish.
You're intentionally being confused at this point.
Yeah.
You are
no, I'm not intentionally anything. You're intentionally cutting me off.
Reality.
Bro, the reason why he's cutting you off, they want the saxophones. That's why. They want the saxophones.
Is that guy's name Pigeon? Okay, so Pigeon, when you drive past a tree, are you confused about if it's you moving or the tree moving? Honestly, do you think that it's the tree moving?
No, I understand movement. So I understand my observation.
Then it's not relative.
Like you said,
it's not relative then.
God, y'all won't let nobody talk that doesn't like sit here and slob on you, man. Let me finish
dude,
this.
You talked yourself right into a wall, dude. Right into the trash.
I did not talk myself right into a wall. Y'all talking about reality. There's no wall. Listen to me. When you look out the window, I understand.
You want me to believe the earth is moving
the tree is not moving compared to the earth.
Hold on one second, Matt. Let him finish. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right. You said that you observe things. So when you look out the window, if you didn't know any better, the tree is the thing moving past you, but you understand that you're driving and the tree's connected to the earth. So you say that you're moving in a car, and that's why you see the tree moving, because you are the observer. So you're saying that the tree is standing still, but you're only saying that relative to it's standing still in the earth, and that you in a car are alone.
All right, we got it. You're repeating yourself now, bro. You're repeating yourself. That's why we cut you off, because you're repeating yourself, okay? Let Matthew respond now. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so your words, right? If I didn't know any better, and I was in a car driving, and I saw a tree go past a window, my natural instinctive thought should be, the default position should be that it is the tree that's moving.
If you didn't know any better, the default position is that you're in a car.
Pigeon. Just because your religion says the earth is moving does not mean that it is. You can believe what you want. You can believe what you want.
My religion, you don't know my religion, bud.
Your religion is that you think the earth is moving with no evidence. You have a faith-based reality.
I haven't said it at all, have I?
You have a religious view that the earth is moving when there is no experiment that proves it. It is never observed. It is never felt.
At what point did I say the earth was moving?
The only reason you're saying the earth is moving is because you are so confused that if you were in a car driving and you saw a tree go past the window, part of you has a doubt that maybe it's the tree moving. Really?
It's not at all what I said.
That's basically what you said.
And I never even said the earth was moving.
All right, hold on. Okay, guys, hold on.
That's not moving.
Pigeon, hold on. I'm gonna let you get it off.
Stars are moving. The sun is moving. And
Pigeon, hold on, bro. I'm gonna let you finish. Pigeon, hold on.
We're moving through the.
Listen, Pigeon, you're muted right now. All right, I can't hear you. Listen, Pigeon, we're going in circles now. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to share your last thoughts on this subject. I'm going to let Matt respond, and then we're going to move to the next person. If you're still here when we circle back around, I will let you bring up a different subject. All right? Last words on this subject, Pigeon. I'll let Matt get his last words, and then we're going to let the next person get some words in. All right? Go ahead, Pigeon. Last words.
People who say all that say the stars are moving, we're moving, everything is moving. I'm saying it might be a possibility we're the only thing stationary. Maybe this is the Matrix.
You are the only thing stationary. It's the lights that are moving. There is a difference. Listen, there's a difference between the sidereal day and the solar day. The sidereal day is faster than the solar day, which means the stars are moving faster than the sun across the sky. If the earth is a ball rotating, how is it possible that the stars go faster than the sun? Do not say it's relative.
In the same way as if you're driving in a car, that the tree goes past you faster than something in the distance moving very
Oh
slow.
my God!
Say the horizon.
That's not, no. Do you even understand what I'm Pigeon,
in your
do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that the sidereal day is
I
faster than
do.
the
I
solar
only
day?
asked if you understand that movement is relative. And
Movement is not- it's not- no, I would say it's not.
Somebody who
All right,
says
guys.
that,
All right,
You wanna
all right,
say there's
I never
movement.
said that.
No,
All right,
Pigeon,
listen,
you're saying there's
listen.
movement,
Last
and
words
we're
from
not
Matt.
observing it.
Go ahead, Matt. My
That's
bad.
part of
Go
your
ahead, Matt.
religion.
Matt, last words on this, all right? 'Cause we're going in a circle.
I'm saying this.
Listen,
and that. That's not what I
Pigeon.
said.
All right. I'm muting Pigeon now. Matt, last words on this, and we're moving to the next person. Go ahead, Matt.
I would just say, I mean, if we observe movement, it would exist, but we don't ever observe it. We never, just like Ross has said many times, if you've been even paying attention to his show instead of just talking trash, right, Pigeon? Have you just been talking trash the whole time? You know, just in the chat saying bad things about Ross? You haven't even been listening to what he's been saying, okay? The motion of the earth, shut up. The motion of the earth.
I haven't muted, Matt. I haven't muted. So I can't hear. The crowd can only hear you. Yeah, the crowd can only hear you.
Okay, put him out. Okay, yeah, I'm muted.
Yeah, they can only hear
I'm
you.
muted on my side.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that, Ross.
No, you're good.
He was interrupting me. Pigeon, now that you're muted on my side, you haven't even been paying attention to Ross's show. He's been explaining over and over. There is no observation or experiment that proves the rotation of the earth. It only exists as a faith-based idea. The idea that the earth is moving when it's not felt or observed, and the idea that the earth is curving when there is no observable curvature. So we'll just end it on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was good. Pigeon, like I said, if you're here, when we come back around, I'll give you a chance to say another word. Even though you interrupt a lot, you know, I don't hear you cursing a lot or trying to troll us. It seems like you are trying to engage, so I do appreciate you, okay? All right, we were talking to Dylan a few seconds ago, so Dylan, we're going to come back to you at the end as well. Twigma said they didn't have much to say. I sound like Tito. Are you up here to troll us?
Tito, but no, I'm not here to troll you.
What's going on with your voice?
So this is my actual voice.
Oh, it sounds like a digital voice.
It's not.
Oh, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 26.
That was pretty specific, so I'll choose to believe you. All right, what's on your mind?
Oh,
Go ahead.
let's see. Hold on. Dinosaurs or dragons? Explain that to me.
Yeah. So let's go back to the 1600s when the first alleged dinosaur bone that they classify today was found. If you study a little bit more into the subject, you'll realize that the idea of a dinosaur wasn't made until the 1800s. That means in the 1600s, when they found this bone, you know what they classified it as? A dragon. They didn't call it a dinosaur because according to modern taxonomy and biology at the time, dragons were real. Nobody had ever seen or heard of a dinosaur. In the 1800s, they made up a fake animal called dinosaurs and then started reclassifying dragon bones as dinosaur bones. Did you catch that? Tito? All right. Well, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, well, yeah, that's the nuts and the bolts of it. You know, in the 1600s, we had a list of animals that were real. Dinosaurs wasn't involved. Dragons were. So we found dragon bones in the same areas that dragons used to exist. Instead of classifying them as a modern animal that existed, they came up with a fake one. So that's actual history.
Let me pull something up real quick.
Okay.
I think you're just trolling. Ross, I think this person's just trolling You know, they want to take you back to the very beginning of everything you say and waste as much time as they can. It's a typical Glober thing.
Yeah.
They're not interested in like what you have to say. They only want to regurgitate the mainstream historical narrative, the mainstream archaeological, geological narrative, and say, you're dumb because look at what my textbook says.
Right. Well, listen.
That's what this is.
Right. Well, I
When
definitely.
you had to go look something up, because
Yeah.
you don't know what to say. If you have to look something up now when you're on the panel, that means you didn't know what to say beforehand. You're just like, hey, hey, you know what? Can you say this? And he waddled away, waddle, 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 to the very next day. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, no, listen, if you're still here at the end, I would love to see if you actually have anything to respond to that. But we're gonna move on. Let's see. We did